the Raiders and the fans. And it's all up next.
It's had many names, but only one NFL team over the years. We're at the home of the Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time. They've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over.
Daniel Carlson ready to get us started. And here we go from Miami. Washington now to return. This return makes it up to the 25. So the Dolphins offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a proud Samoan and one of your few fellow lefty QBs, Brock, Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua's early career, yeah, it was known for injuries. Maybe not being as durable and as available as you want in a top 10 pick. But the last few years, he's taken great strides to rewrite that narrative. Remember, this was a guy that rewrote the record books in Hawaii, won a national championship at Alabama, and nobody questioned the accuracy of that left arm. It was just the availability, well, that he's had to rewrite, and he's done a heck of a job.
Motioning the tight end now. Tagovailoa working from the pistol. This is caught by Jalen Waddle. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Opening carry for Devon Achane. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Tracked down by Robert Spillane. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
They've got a man in motion. Tagovailoa off the play fake. He gets it complete to his man, Tyreek Hill. Down to the 10. There it is. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins take a 6-0 lead right away. Tyreek Hill, the touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Jason Sanders to try the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Sanders all set to send it away. It's Amir Abdullah with the return. Return's looking good so far. Coverage team tracks him down as the return reaches the 35. So here come the Raiders now for their opening drive. They're brought out by someone who's kept the exact energy now as he had when he entered the league back in 2019. It's Gardner Minshew.
Kate, I don't know how many people know the story of Gardner Minshew and how close he was to becoming a GA and coaching. Mike Leach got on the phone with him and said, hey, why don't you take one more swing at this thing? Come out to Pullman, Washington, and lead my pirate ship. And all he did with that mustache was light the college football world on fire. And all he's been in the NFL with multiple organizations is that same spark plug that just makes something happen.
He gets this to Michael Mayer. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
They send a man in motion. Minshew on first down. This is hauled in by Myers. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Brought down that time by Kendall Fuller.
That's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 42. Escapes the... Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Minshew. Complete, it's Myers. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's a Vegas first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a first down pickup.
All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Inside handoff goes to Madison. And they bring him down pretty quickly at the 10. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
They'll go right back to Madison. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him about 3 yards, and now they're going to have 3rd and 5 to figure out.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
3rd and short. Here's Minshew. Pass it down close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Here's Minshew. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
So the incompletion on 1st. Here's 2nd and goal. Up the middle they go with Madison. And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short, run, feel good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Abdullah. And he's in for the touchdown. The Raiders finish off their opening drive. For the offense, you gotta love it, Brock. Points to begin the game as he runs it in for an opening drive touchdown.
And you've got one very happy running back right over there on the sideline right now. These backs, they do feel the pressure to find the end zone every single week. It's not easy to do. But to do it this early and get out of the way, big time.
Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders respond with 7 of their own to tie it here early. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Washington now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So Miami headed out for its 2nd drive of the game. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. Got his target. It's Hill. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Running back sent in motion. Here's 2nd and 5. Completes this one to Hill. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Running with H.A. and out of the gun. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They go play action with Tagovailoa. That's Hill working the sideline, complete. And he's out of bounds after reaching the 40. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
No hesitations from Antonio Pierce here. He's got the challenge flag out. Well, we're going to see how much of a sideline maven he is, Brock. This one very close, whether he got the feet down or not.
And I'm so impressed by all these mavens because you've got to make that transition from college where 1 foot, you're good.
Yep.
But not at this level. You've got to be a ballerina. You've got to get those toes both in, and the replay booth will be the judge of it.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
All right, so that challenge is unsuccessful, but still a chance to earn a 3rd one if their next challenge leads to an overturned call. New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. 1st down, here's Tua. On target to Waddle. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
They kick the running back in motion. 2nd and 6 now. Hauled in by Waddle. And they take him down right along the 30. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Tua off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. He's on the move. Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. And the back-to-back sacks. Nice work by the defense there. Sets him up with a 3rd down. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the 2nd. Back to Hard Rock Stadium right after this. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Dolphin football as we begin. They'll need a big play to continue a nice drive. It's 3rd and very long. Tua now from the gun. Complete beyond the marker. He's all the way home. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins take a 2nd quarter lead. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Dolphins break that tie and now lead by 7. Sanders all set to send it away. Here's a return from the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. They track him down, but a nice return in the end there, Brock. He's up to the 38. Now for the 2nd time this game, we get a look at the Raiders offense. It's a touchdown ball game right now, Brock. 14-7 as they start this possession. Good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Madison. And he gets him around 6 there. Jalen Phillips finishing that play off. He made it 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Takes the handoff. Now Minshew. Bails out of the pocket quick. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes an impact that gets home. But of course we know, it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field for more than a second or two.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Minshew. He has the first over the middle. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. He gets 6 on that play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
To the ground with Madison. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop him with Madison. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire...
The new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line. Second down. Minshew working from the gun. Got a man, Bowers has it. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's a Vegas first down.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
1st and 10, Minshew. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Now Minshew. Into the hands of Tucker. Complete. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Here's the give to Madison. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. We get a stoppage here. One of their big blockers up front. In some pain following that play. He's being attended to. So now on 4th down, the Raiders elected to send Daniel Carlson out for the field goal. He'll try to connect on a 50-yarder. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Eskridge to return it. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Dolphins and Tyreek Hill headed back out on offense. And they've had a real connection looking his way in our opening half. Seems pretty clear that he's the one the coverage is going to have to adjust to and start slowing down. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's going deep. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and you got to react as it begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Throwing again. Here's Tua. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out. Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. Almost the impact play this defense was searching for, but they could only get half the job done, partner. Fumble forced, but they couldn't recover.
I'll tell you what else it forces, though. That coordinator, that play caller on the other side, now got a little bit of doubt about his ball handlers. Got to have better ball security than that.
Running back sent in motion. Throwing. Here's Tagovailoa on third. Chased out to his right. Oh, he's going to run for it. Give him 32 on the play. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. Tagovailoa off the play fake. They left him wide open. It's complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with first and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
This offense in position now. It's first and goal. From the red zone now. Achan reels it in. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. The third and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
So from the 3, here's second and goal. They motion the tight end over. Achan. Can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult fourth down decision.
So now, here's third and goal. Running for it, it's Achan. And this time he gets it done. Touchdown! The Dolphins now lead by 10. Devon Achan with the touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to fourth and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating a defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on third and goal.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Dolphins drive their lead to 11. Sanders all set to send it away. Brings in the kick at the 9. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Raiders have their offense back out there. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. get this drive started. 1st and 10. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. He's got to gain a 6 there. Play brought to an end by Jalen Ramsey. We've hit the 2-minute warning now at Hard Rock. It's the Raiders, who have 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, Minshew. Into heavy coverage, and that's intercepted. Picked off by Cater Kohu. And he's going to go. It's a big 6. But we all know getting the interception is the important thing, Brock. But how about this guy having the wherewithal to transition into a really nice return to then get the touchdown out of it, too?
Yeah, that's a great point. We talk about it with receivers, right? Getting vertical right away after making a catch. Same thing for these defenders when they make a pick. They secure the football, sure, but instantly they go back to their offensive days. They want that touchdown, and they want a moment they won't forget.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. The point after splits the uprights. And the Dolphins push their lead to 18. Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now the Raider offense headed back to the field. And they didn't have much time to recover from that pick 6. Need short memories here as they head back out. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. After the pick, here's Minshew. And he won't connect on that one. Incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Minshew. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. It's their first. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down. From the gun, a run for Madison. And he's brought down. They're spotting this one right at the 20. Miami calls a timeout here. It's 2nd. As they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. Now the Raiders readying for the punt. And they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. The Dolphins and running back Devon Achane getting back to work. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Tua out of the pistol. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Putting a receiver in motion. From the 38. Finds his man, Waddle. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. 16 yards on play. And it'll be first down, Miami.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Tagovailoa on first down. He's finds Smith. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
First down, ball at the 36. To the air yet again, Tagovailoa escapes the pocket. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Jason Sanders leading the Dolphins field goal unit out. From the left hash, this is from 47. Aubrey puts it through. And that stretches the lead to 21.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance.
Return starts from the goal line. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So we've reached halftime down here in Miami. The Dolphins have the lead. Now we'll send you up to Orlando, our studios there, for Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. First, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Sanders all set to send it away. Return starts at the 9. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Vegas offense ready to start this third quarter. In that first half, they just couldn't keep up the pace, but they're going to be the ones setting the pace here to begin this third quarter. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Here's Madison. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. A tight end in motion now. Here's Madison again. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Going to the ground again on 1st. He'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. We go with Madison here. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
3rd and short. Here's Minshew. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. The Dolphins are back on offense. Tua Tagovailoa out there once again. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns. Good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can. Putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They're out and set. 1st and 10. They'll send him over right. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That's why you often see some high percentage pass plays on 1st and 10. You got to keep a defense honest. They're always looking for a run in that situation and a chance to stack them up for 2nd and long.
Here's 2nd and 11. And the Raiders get there and take him down. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, let's give some credit to the defense here, Kate, right? We talk about explosive plays. Every offense is looking for them. But when a defense can go back-to-back, Jack, with a tackle for loss and a sack, well, they're more than doing their job.
Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. He puts some air under this one, deep right. Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect. And now they're stuck facing 4th down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Now it's Jake Bailey who's out to punt this for the Dolphins. And he wasn't needed at all in the 1st half, partner. This is going to be his 1st punt. Fair catch called for and taken just beyond midfield. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it'll be Raider football. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Minshew to throw. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
They give it to Madison. And he gets this beyond the midfield stripe and onto the Dolphins side of the field. 7 yards on the carry. Now they've got 3rd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run in crossing that 1st down marker.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. He's on the move, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
The challenge with so many sacks is it just disrupts everything in the rhythm and timing of your offense. All of these negative plays. Hey, this league and this game is hard enough when you're on schedule. All of these sacks setting you behind the chains. Well, you've seen how disruptive it is for this offense.
Las Vegas sends out the punt team. It'll be A.J. Cole doing the honors. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. Miami set to take over once again on offense. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays that followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They kick the running back in motion. On 1st down, here's Tagovailoa. That's Hill working the sideline, complete. Pick up of a few as he heads out of bounds.
That one came with a higher degree of difficulty. He had to balance focusing on the catch while staying in bounds.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Back to throw, Tua. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. It brings up 3rd down. Man in motion here. Tua off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
What a great opportunity for him. You can almost feel that bounce in his step. Facing a southpaw and he gets to rush the blind side. Well, anytime he beats that right tackle, it just comes down to his closing speed and his finishing ability at the quarterback.
So the Dolphins readying for the punt. And he's only a handful of yards from his own goal line. And that punt hits and kicks out of bounds beyond the opposing 35. The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. And this certainly isn't the rut they want to be in, Brock. All of their drives have been ending in punts as of late. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Play action, it's Minshew. Throw reeled in by Mayer. Gets it forward to steal about a yard out of that. Jalen Phillips finishing that play off.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Complete, it's Myers. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. It's Kader Kohu up to make that play.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Minshew working from the gun. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
New set of downs for him from the 46. The give now to Madison. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Tackle made by Jordan Brooks. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Minshew. Complete here to Bowers. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. First down, ball at the 36. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. It was Tyrell Johnson with the tackle. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. They've got a man in motion. Here's 2nd and 7. Got a man, Bowers has it. And he's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or 2 short of the 25.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Throwing here, Minshew. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. Out of the gun, Madison. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. Only 1 yard, but when all you need is an inch or 2, Brock, that'll still move the chains.
4th down, pressure on him. He was not backing down for a second. Nice effort to carry the rock. More importantly, for his offense to get a first down.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. This is hauled in by Myers. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Play brought to an end by Jalen Ramsey. 3 quarters in the books from this one. It's Raiders football as we're just counting down this final quarter. This game seems out of hand. Second and 6 coming up here. Takes the handoff. Now Minshew. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I can already read the headlines tomorrow. This offensive line can't protect. This offensive line. But it's more than that. When you give up 5 sacks in a game, it's a complete breakdown of everybody offensively. Play caller, quarterback, offensive line. Yeah, they're going to have to regroup and figure out how to protect this quarterback first and foremost.
The Dolphins with an extra DB out there. Third down coming. From the shotgun, Minshew. He gets this one to Myers. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. So 3rd and 16, no problem for them as they get the first.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Give now to the running back. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Give him 5 on that carry, bring it up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Enough goes to Madison, running right. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. Nothing doing that time, and it leaves them on 2nd and goal.
Well, one defender failed. Well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
They'll try again from the 4. It's 2nd and goal. Running right, it's Madison. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. Now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Now Minshew. Ooh, that looked like a pick for a second, but it hits the end zone grass. They are very fortunate to get this one back, but now they've got 4th down.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, well, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Desperation time here on 4th. And it's incomplete, so that's going to be a turnover on downs, depending on what the call is on this penalty. They already got the stop and the turnover on down, so they're just going to decline this penalty. Chain on the inside give. Room to roam by a man, and now he's in the clear. And he finally ends up out of bounds after a huge gain. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset.
Anytime you get that chunk of yards, gosh, you can just feel it in the stadium. It just changes the whole complexion of the drive. They're now set up beautifully in enemy territory to end this series with points.
So the big play gets him just beyond midfield. It's 1st down. A-chain again. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They'll stick with A-chain. And he's brought down for a loss.
Not sure if it was a missed assignment on the line, a dominant play on his part, or maybe a little bit of both, Kate. But look at those dudes down there defensively. Man, they are fired up after that stick behind the line.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. They'll motion him out of the backfield. Dump off caught by his back. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And this one gets out of bounds. It was pushing some distance towards the goal line, but gets out at the 5. Time for the Raiders offense to hit the field. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Throwing from near his own goal line. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's able to get it to the 21 as he goes down. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Caught by Marshall. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Working quickly here. From the 30 on 2nd down. Escapes out to the left. He can run it. This one goes for 3 yards. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the 1st down.
It's the 2-minute warning from Miami. Raiders trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Minshew connects on the crosser. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
From the 41. Finds the in route complete. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped at his own side at the 49. First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Back to throw, Minshew. Trying to push it deep downfield. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done, incomplete. Great defensive effort to reject that one. So 2nd down coming up.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
To throw again on 2nd down here, Minshew. This ball's cut by Bowers. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. A timeout taken by Vegas. That's its 2nd. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Sticking in the air with Minshew. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing it. Unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
On 2nd and 10 now. Minshew. Marshall there to bring it in. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. Clock working against him here as they hurry to that line. 3rd and short. Here's Minshew. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. They snap it. Here's Minshew. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And it's recovered by the offense, but Brock gets 4th down. We know only the fumbler can advance it, so this is still going to be a turnover on downs. Offense returning to the field now for the Dolphins. And this one just a formality till the clock runs out. It's only one timeout remaining to stop it. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. Dolphins breaking out the victory formation here as he goes to a knee.
They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. So in the end, it's a Dolphins win here. And even getting skunked in that second half, Brock, the damage done in the first, enough to claim victory at the end. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize that stellar defensive effort in the second half that made this win possible. So for Brock Ewart, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Dolphins, your winners, as we say so long from Miami.